Welcome back to the Real Frame Reviews. I'm Scott, and today we're reviewing Alex Garland's newest film, Annihilation. Whenever I go to the theater, I want to have the feeling of a film that just blows me away. There's not much that matches up to that sort of feeling. And, for example, I've gotten that feeling before from films like, Titanic, Lord of the Rings, 12 Angry Men, so many films that have just blown you out of the water or surpassed any thoughts that you would actually have in the film, going into the film. And to be honest with you, this film is one of those that just left my expectations completely in the dust. So, like I said, Annihilation is directed by Alex Garland, who directed Ex Machina, who has also written numerous things, such as 28 Days Later and many, many more. This film stars Natalie Portman, Oscar Isaac. You have Jennifer Jason Leigh, Tessa Thompson, and a lot of other very, very interesting cast members, all of which are very talented. The film is based on a book, I believe, a series of books by the same name. And what happens is a meteor or something hits the Earth and sort of creates this oily film around a certain area. And slowly that film is sort of moving into the United States. It takes a little while, so let's say it moves 100 yards every couple months. That's just a guess. I don't actually know. What happens is Natalie Portman's husband, Oscar Isaac, we find out he has gone in there and he has recently turned up and a lot of weird things happen. Long story short, Natalie Portman takes a crew into that film or that bubble to find out what happened to her husband and to figure out how she can actually help him once she returns. This film is sci-fi, if you haven't guessed, and it is one of those films that has so many layers to it. This film does so much to really just, it mesmerizes you, it submerses the audience, and it has so many different layers that you sort of have to peel back and figure out. It's almost like a puzzle in a way. And I love what Alex Garland does with this film. Just from the get-go, you can understand that this guy loves putting his characters in center frame. And what he does then with the rest of the frame is actually something that excites me when I go to a film. It is wonderful filmmaking. It actually reminds me of getting really excited a few Oscar seasons back when I didn't see Bridge of Spies. Steven Spielberg's one of my favorite directors. Didn't see Bridge of Spies. I went back to Bridge of Spies, and oh my gosh, was I blown away. It was filmmaking. It was good filmmaking. You could see what was going on, and it was actually pushing the story. This is the same thing that's going on in this film, Annihilation. He's pushing the story with the framing and where he's putting his characters, how he's blocking them. And it is so much fun to just watch that. You could watch this movie on mute, and it would just be awe-inspiring. It almost makes you want to whip out a camera and go and just start shooting stuff. But it also shows you how much detail goes into the way that Alex Garland makes his films. And it is so good. I left the theater just thinking, wow, I want to just get another ticket and go right back in, because it was just so great. The acting in this film is solid as well. Within the first few frames, you feel for the relationship that Oscar Isaac and Natalie Portman have with each other. It is actually wonderful to see. And the way, again, that Alex Garland sort of uses the frame to tell his story instead of just saying, oh, hey, look, this is what's happening. Get this. This is what's happening. He's showing and he's not telling, and it is absolutely spectacular. The shots that he puts in that first meeting between Portman and Isaac is so breathtaking. And from there on out, you have just a wonderful wonderful array of characters that, and each way sort of connects you to them. So, one's a little frightened, one's a little bit more in your face. There's one that's a little bit more soft spoken, the one that speaks for the group, and then there's sort of the lonely person. You know what I'm saying? So you have all sorts of different emotions that are going into the film, but also different characteristics and personalities, and they all just flourish, just like the colors on the screen. It's so amazing when you see the actual bubble that's created in this like X zone or whatever they call it, area X. It is purple and blue and it like wavy. It's like oil on the ground when you see water rush over it. It is lovely, but because you were taught that this is probably not the best thing to be on your clothes or your hands or in your mouth, whatever. And that's sort of the membrane that is the bubble or Area X. The film is intriguing. The sci-fi aspect to this film is very intriguing, and it was wonderful. I mean, the thought that was put into this, I'm sure by the books, but then putting that onto screen, it was very believable, and it was done in such a way that I'm just getting goosebumps just thinking back to it. There were a lot of great sort of found footage moments, not actually with our characters, but with other characters, that sheds light on a lot. I didn't seem like I didn't feel like I was lost at any moment, but yet after each turn, you walk down, it's like walking down a long hallway, and then all of a sudden you get to, oh, I have to turn here. So you get another turn, and it's another twist, and another twist, and you just sort of keep getting that, and it's just layers upon layers, and it's just so awesome, and it's so much fun to watch. I'm definitely going to see this movie again. I thought it was absolutely wonderful. I thought it was amazing. Some people say that it's slow. I didn't think so. It clocks in just under 2 hours, and it feels like that. It does not feel like it's overly bland or drawn out at all. And I think everything that goes on with Natalie Portman's character is so intriguing, and it is wonderful because of how Alex Garland is directing this film, but also what he's getting from his actors is wonderful. And the ending, don't let people tell you the ending is poor. The ending is what the ending should be. It should be under interpretation. I think it's going to be really wonderful to hear people's thoughts on what happened at the end and just sort of get that from different people. I think this movie is wonderful. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 4 stars. That's Annihilation. Go see it. I want to talk about it with you. I want to hear about it with you. I want to do this. I want to talk about Annihilation. So please get at me. Comment below or hit me up on Twitter at Scott NIEMI2. I actually got that handle right for once. So thanks so much for watching, and like, subscribe, comment. Peace.